And welcome back to PF International Circuit. The karts you see on the track are on their second formation lap. These are the KFJuniors, just before the start of their pre-final. Pre-final over 11 laps, scheduled away at this beautiful Lincolnshire circuit. And starting on pole position, as you can see from our caption, David Beckman, with Ben Lasans joining him on the front row. There you see the guys just on the lower order of the grid. Devlin De Francesco, kart number 29, the winner of our second chance race this morning. And he, with 5 other colleagues, having got a reprieve, if you like. Devlin De Francesco, a potential champion in the early part of the year, but things gone wrong a little here. Well, the front row, David Beckman of Germany, joined by Benjamin Lesen of Belgium, Rasmus Lind of Sweden, and Felipe Drogovic Roncato of Brazil. Rokas Baciuska of Lithuania and Lorenzo Travisanuto of Italy. Row 4, Enem Ahmed of Great Britain, the championship leader coming into this event, with Casper Rosanderson of Denmark, Presley Martono of Indonesia, and Juan Manuel Correa from the United States of America complete the top 10 on row 5, and it's an 11-lap race. Here we go. David Beckman to the left of your screen. And he gets a really good start. It's not such a bad start by Benjamin Lesen, but certainly David Beckman got the early advantage going under the Litchfield Bridge for the first time of 11, followed by Rasmus Lind, the diminutive Swedish driver in the basically blue colouring of the Praga Perilla machine. But this is David Beckman you see on screen, followed by Rasmus Lind. David Beckman, a quick glance over to the right as if to say, oh, my word, my word. Well, you don't need a commentator to say what happened there, those of you viewing on screen. Let's just gloss over, shall we? Your race leader now, as a result of that, is kart 240, Rokas Baciukas of Lithuania. Rokas Baciukas taking advantage of that situation, which you saw on the opening lap. Not really sure what to say. We have another look. Gosh, my. I always have a little saying at this point, only a non-contact sport. We've got a full course yellow, The speed is to be scrubbed off, guys. It's a full course yellow. Don't any of you go past the driver in front. You'll be docked your places, if not worse. The full course yellow taking operation. So I'm afraid it's an unsatisfactory start to our junior pre-final. I can tell you that Christian Lundgaard, Archie Tillett, Clement Novalak and Lorenzo Colombo didn't come round. So, well, there's Anton Hager just coming round way behind all of the other drivers. So something out on the circuit that we didn't pick up from towards the back of the grid, it would seem, looking at who the drivers were and where they were starting. Anton Hager started on the second last row of the grid. Big surprise, because Anton Hager, like Devlin De Francesco, was a potential champion contender in the early stages. One of the drivers getting out of the kart parked underneath the bridge. He's not going to take his place in the rerun. Well, sorry, in the continuation of the race. Let me call you the quick top 10. Rokas Baciuska of Lithuania 1, David Beckman Germany 2, Ben Lesen of Belgium 3, Rasmus Lind of Sweden 4, Enem Ahmed Great Britain 5, Loris Travisanuto of Italy 6, Casper Rosanderson of Denmark 7, Presley Martono of Indonesia 8, Max Futrell Great Britain 9, Daniel Ticktum in 10th place, and we've gone red. We have gone red, as you can see from the screen. As I was looking at my timing screen, that's Joel Blanc in the white shirt in the middle of those 3 officials. The others are Nigel Edwards and not quite sure who the third one is, but the race has been stopped, so we are not continuing to race. And unfortunately, the start of our finals here at PF International had pretty much the worst it could be. We called to a halt after only 1 full lap. So, however long the situation is, I don't know at the moment. As soon as we do know, we'll tell you about it. But for the time being, let's just stay with our pictures on CIK TV, try and identify some of the drivers for you. To the left of your screen there, that kart number 246 that you're looking at is Fabio Scherer. 240, Rokas Baciuska. You can see, in fact, you can actually see Rokas himself there to the left of the screen. Rokas Baciuska is from Lithuania, not a nation which in recent, well, shall we say, as of 5 years or so ago that you would associate with racing at the top of CIK FIA championship level. But of course, Seamus Judovicius became the first Lithuanian to win a European title, and a very, very strong Baltic connection now, very strong Baltic contribution to world karting. Now, that would appear to be David Beckman being asked to push his kart back to the front of the grid as the ambulance goes in front of our screen. Do hope that that's not a serious situation, and it may well be that we have a full restart. They did complete one opening lap, but not everybody, so it may well be that it's essential that we go for a full restart. Sadly, we do have one driver who had to go to hospital yesterday, Maxime Poti of Belgium. He's on his way back home to Belgium now, unfortunately with a fractured wrist. I have to say that although that's a nasty injury, a fractured wrist, there was a time when it looked as if it might have been a rather more serious leg injury. So to some extent, I did speak with Maxime this morning, and his wrist is very heavily bandaged and bound and sore, but otherwise he says he feels okay. Well, for those of you tuned in to CIK TV, I don't think I can add anything. The pictures tell you as much as I can tell you, so for the time being, let's just leave you with our pictures until we know where we're going forward from here. Well, I do make the point here at the circuit as well as on air that the presence of the ambulance on the circuit is not an indication of a serious injury. It's an indication that we take no chances with drivers' health, safety and well-being. And even if we look as if we're going through some fairly serious procedures, that is the norm. We do that on every occasion so that no driver is compromised if there's perhaps an injury which has been concealed, maybe. Well, to the extreme left of your screen, you can see Joel Blanc, the race director, with his white shirt, just having a word with the guys at the front. I think I'm looking at Benjamin Lessen in the blue and white shirt. Excuse me, blue and white race suit. Well, one of the drivers pushing back here is, I think, Logan Sargent, kart 204. Logan Sargent, who started on the inside of row 7. And Logan Sargent is in the top 5 in the championship standings. So he'll be very anxious to take his place in the rerun. But right now, struggling to get kart 204 back. 204 is an FA kart powered by the Vortex motor. Logan Sargent has 42 points and stands 5th in the championship. Well, the evidence of our eyes there to the right of your screen is Logan Sargent pushing kart 204. If he can get that to the 5th row of the grid, the 7th row of the grid, he can retake his place, one imagines, although is he trying to push it further away? Well, David Beckman's kart, number 216, is the one to the left of your screen at the front, and to the right at the front, 209, is Benjamin Lessen's kart. So it does look as if when we do resume racing, we shall do so with a full restart over the full 11 laps. It would be nice to have the full grid of 34 drivers, but I think there are going to be some gaps. Well, just looking down the column to the left of your screen, getting into the cart is David Beckman, the man who started on pole position. On row 8, Christian Lundgaard in cart 268. No, I'm wrong about that, so until we can identify with absolute accuracy, let's not tell you anything that's incorrect. The drivers who didn't come round were Christian Lundgaard, Archie Tillett, cart number 270, which is Novalak of Switzerland, Clement Novalak for the Cosmic Racing team. I think they're going to be non-starters, and I don't see Logan Sargent taking his position. He pushed his cart back from the site of the problem. Well, on CIK TV you won't see this, but the Trent Valley Kart Club recovery vehicle is bringing 3 drivers back. All of those 3 drivers are sitting in the carts. None of them looks to be injured. We don't know what the state of the carts are, or the state of the carts is, and it remains to be seen if they'll take the restart. If you're just joining us on CIK TV and you're expecting to be seeing the KFJunior pre-final, it did start on schedule, but we went to a full course yellow followed by a red, and we only had the opening lap concluded before that red flag came out. So just for the time being, we're looking at the drivers that are needing attention and any vehicles needing attention. But we don't have the full 34 grid taking their places at the moment. It would be really good if everybody was able to take their place in the rerun. The cart to the left of your screen, not within the tram lines, is cart 215. That's Jan Krensic. He should be behind Christian Lundgaard, but Christian Lundgaard was one of the drivers who was involved in the incident, but I don't think has been hurt. Here is the recovery wagon, having delivered the goods, as it were, back to the Parc Fermé. Well, my promise to you is that as soon as I hear any official decision as to how we resume racing, I will tell you. But for the time being, your television pictures on CIK TV show you with the vast bulk of the grid in their starting grid positions, as they would be at the start of an 11-lap race, albeit with 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps, I think. Well, the evidence of your eyes on screen is that a couple of carts have been pushed out from the paddock. Mr. Horst Seidel is the chairman of the International Stewards, and he's down there. He's the well-built gentleman in the white shirt, having a word with one of the guys who's just come in. Not sure if that's a suggestion that they shouldn't be there. Really don't know. Again, apologies to those of you tuned into CIK TV and to those at the circuit. The absence of information as to how we restart is, from my point of view, is purely down to the fact that I don't have the information to relay to you. As soon as I do, I will do so.
Going to hospital.
Well, it's always a shame when we lose a driver from the circuit, and I don't know, I shouldn't be saying this in today's age, but as an elderly gentleman, always a shame when we lose one of our ladies. And the lady being taken to the hospital is Sophia Flörsch. Sophia Flörsch, who worked really hard. She had to start all of her heats in on the last row and qualified straight through to the pre-finals, started on the 13th row. But she has a possible ankle injury. She's not in a lot of pain, but there's a possible ankle injury. And we did say earlier on, or I did say, that we take no chances at all. So Sophia Flörsch of Germany, in the best interests of her welfare, is going to have that ankle injury x-rayed at hospital. She's not in a lot of pain, but we take no chances. She will not take her part in the rerun. Sophia Flörsch was doing some glamour photos last evening after we finished racing, right what you're looking at on your television screens. At the start-finish line there, Sophia was doing some glamour shots for one of our lady photographers. It wasn't one of the guys getting himself a little bit saucy with the girls. It was one of our lady photographers asking Sophia Flörsch if she would be willing to do some of these glamour shots, which she did. Looked ever so nice, as she would. But sadly, now less than 24 hours later, she has gone to hospital and probably going to have an x-ray. Now, some good news. One of our drivers, at least in a Tony kart, is coming out, and someone else as we go on the formation lap. Oh, if they've got this close to it, I do hope they're permitted to restart. Well, anybody tuned in Germany who is connected with Sophia Flörsch in the FA Kart Vortex, we promise you she's not in a lot of pain. But it is in her best interest that we look at what might be an injury. She's driving for the Emilia Kart team of Italy and will not take her place in the rerun. So another formation lap. David Beckman on the Tony Kart Perilla in kart 216 leads them round. Benjamin Lessen in kart number 209 going to join him on the front row. He's driving the Cosmic Perilla. Behind those two, Rasmus Lind of Sweden and Felipe Djokovic Roncato of Brazil, who when he's running at the front of the races gives your commentator a little bit of a challenge. It's a lot to say at race pace. Felipe Djokovic Roncato. Okay, here we go. And David Beckman gets a good start from pole position, and Rasmus Lind goes with him in second place. Clipping the curb a little bit there was, I think, Rokas Bachuska. They go underneath the Litchfield Bridge, sweep round now, climbing up the hill, turning left on your screens over the Litchfield Bridge and sweeping right down a ramp. Very reminiscent, this, of the Monaco Kart Cup ramp. Always find that looks very familiar to me from a Monaco Kart Cup perspective. David Beckman's lead is about 8 lengths already from kart number 258, Rasmus Lind. And oh, Rasmus goes wide to some degree there, and kart 209, Benjamin Lessen, punishes him for that. So Benjamin Lessen getting himself into second place at the expense of Rasmus Lind, who goes third. And of course the beneficiary there was David Beckman, whose big-ish lead has now been increased even more. Our television pictures showing very clearly the lead that David Beckman has as he comes onto the home straight to complete the opening lap. David Beckman's lead is 1.134 of a second, which is a big lead. Ben Lessen in second place, Rasmus Lind third, Enem Ahmed you can see there, and again that's a little bit of an error by Rasmus Lind. Have to be careful, don't throw away places too cheaply. Having said that, he's got himself nicely compact there, and a nice return, if you like, to good shape. Enem Ahmed came into this event as the championship leader. He's running fourth. Max Futrell in the top 5. In the top 10, Mick Junior at number 10. Mick Junior had a race victory in the heats yesterday, but also had a non-finish. David Beckman is the guy on screen that we're looking at. Immediately behind him, Benjamin Lessen, or Benjamin Lessen. And kart number 202 moving up into third place is Enem Ahmed. So Enem Ahmed getting himself past Rasmus Lind of Sweden. See how wide they go at the bottom of this final turn. Big sweep. Good scrap this. Enem Ahmed, Rasmus Lind, Benjamin Lessen in second place. Benjamin Lessen coming under real pressure now from Enem Ahmed. Enem Ahmed, who yesterday evening was driving an can't say it right. We'll come back to that. Kart 202 in third place is Enem Ahmed. He's looking very closely at Benjamin Lessen, and there is a move by Enem Ahmed, and Enem Ahmed takes the lead on lap 3, takes second place on lap 3 of 11. In a big lead is David Beckman, but Enem Ahmed goes into second place, that at the expense of Benjamin Lessen. Rasmus Lind still in third place, Rokas Baciuska in fourth. Let's have another look at that. It's on one of the 180-degree hairpins here at the PF circuit, beautifully executed by Enem Ahmed. Once he'd got his nose into the situation, there was really nothing that Benjamin Lessen could have done other than chopped across him and taken them, no doubt, both out. This is lap 4 of 11, and David Beckman's lead is 1.165. We're not looking closely at David Beckman because there's some better racing behind him. Enem Ahmed second, Ben Lessen third, Rasmus Lind fourth, Rokas Baciuska fifth, and Rokas has just set a fastest lap. Rokas Baciuska has just gone 57. Well, it goes off my screen, but the fastest lap for Rokas Baciuska. He's gone up to 5th place at the expense of Max Futrell, who was running 6th just before that. Well, David Beckman's lead looks to me to be just ever so slightly smaller as I look on the television pictures. I'm relying on my CIK TV screen pictures. Of course, that can be foreshortened, and one of our front runners, or front-ish runners, has drifted off the circuit with a mechanical problem. So one of our drivers reasonably well to the fore has surrendered a good position. Let's try and identify who it was. It's Benjamin Lessen. Benjamin Lessen, who started on the front row, was running in second place, has driven off the circuit just before the end of lap 4. There wasn't an incident in terms of contact with another driver, but Benjamin Lessen, you probably saw that at the top left of your screen. Mick Junior sets a fastest lap, by the way. Mick Junior's in 7th place at the moment. Some good racing on screen presently. Oh, guys, come on, come on, come on. This is a non-contact sport, isn't it? We all know that. Well, I do feel commiserations for Benjamin Lessen, but he's better off than Sophia Flörsch. She's going off to in an ambulance to the hospital. Ben Lessen is just coming back to lick his wounds in the paddock. We're on lap 5, and David Beckman's lead is just under 1 second now. There you see him in shot. Enem Ahmed is well clear in second place of the third place driver, which is Rokas Baciuska. Rokas Baciuska from Lithuania has gone past Rasmus Lind, as our caption was just a fraction behind the event. Max Futrell still 5th, Kasper Roos Andersen 6th, Mick Junior still running 7th. Oh, and one of our drivers towards the front getting very, very wide there, as you saw on screen. Lorenzo Travisanuto of Italy in 11th place. Not in the top 10, but does have the fastest lap to his credit. Some good racing here, isn't it? This is all in the positions of round about 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. There's no close racing at the front between David Beckman and Enem Ahmed. However, Enem Ahmed is definitely getting closer to David Beckman at the front. See the beautiful layout of this is the far end, the northern sector of the PFI circuit coming onto the home straight, and you can actually see, even with the foreshortened situation, that Enem Ahmed is getting closer to David Beckman. This is lap 7, and Ross Martin on the shot there, 26th place. The Scot been very, very disappointing. He's been not anywhere near his best form, and on his home event, well, home in terms of the United Kingdom, Enem Ahmed's setting the fastest lap now, but Ross Martin, it's just not gone right for him this weekend. Enem Ahmed getting himself handily placed. He's running second in the pre-final in an event in which he has come as the championship leader. David Beckman certainly showed some fabulous form. The scrap that we're watching now is Enem Ahmed, Baciuska. David Beckman and Enem Ahmed's margin between them now, half a second, and you don't need me to say that Ahmed is getting just closer and closer and closer. This is lap 8 of 11, relatively short race distance for a pre-final. It is 15 kilometers, so it is regulation distance. Juan Manuel Correa from the United States of America sets the fastest lap. Unfortunately, he's only in 19th place at the moment, one place in front of another American, Logan Sargent, who at least did start the race. He's 20th, and the third American, Devlin DeFrancesco, in 21st place. So Juan Manuel Correa, Logan Sargent and Devlin DeFrancesco have got the North American bragging rights to scrap over, but they'd like to get themselves a little higher up than 19th place, 20th and 21st. David Beckman and Enem Ahmed have a really, really good dice between them. I wouldn't say that Enem Ahmed is as close as he was moments ago. This is the scrap for first and second. The dice between David Beckman driving a Tony Kart Perilla in kart number 216. David Beckman drives for the private team of himself and his father. Enem Ahmed from a rather more established team of Ricky Flynn Motorsport, and Enem Ahmed about one kart length behind David Beckman on lap 9. We're correctly... Oh, and is this a move by Enem Ahmed? It is a move, and he has consummated it, and Enem Ahmed on lap 9 takes the lead from David Beckman. And David Beckman having a quick look at what the options are. Well, let's have a peep at it again on the instant replay. Yes, David Beckman left a gap there, didn't he? Enem Ahmed saw the gap, drove into it, and from that moment that he put his nose cone into the gap, there was nothing legitimate that David Beckman could do. And as we come to conclude lap 9 with just the 2 laps remaining, it's now Enem Ahmed who's leading from David Beckman. Rokas Baciuska still third, Rasmus Lind still fourth, Mick Junior's climbed up to 5th, so he's going well. Max Futrell 6th, Travis Anuto 7, Alexander Vartanyan is up to 8th, James Pull from Singapore is 9th, and Leonardo Lorandi of Italy is in the top 10 in 10th place. 1.5 laps remaining in a KFJunior pre-final that had a second start after a nasty incident which has seen the lady from Germany, Sophia Flörsch, taken to hospital, albeit we don't believe with a serious injury. So does David Beckman have anything in the armoury to fight back? And 5th going up to 4th there is Mick Junior going past Rasmus Lind. Mick Junior in the Tony Kart, you saw in shot momentarily, and there he is again. So Mick Junior in 4th place now, got a lot of tarmac between him and the guy in front. This is the start of our final lap, and Enem Ahmed is 3.35 of a second clear of David Beckman, and dare I say it, don't want to put the mockers in, but ought to win this from here. But Mick Junior has got Max Futrell snapping at his wheels. Mick Junior you see there with Max Futrell behind him. Just in front of both of them was Rokas Baciuska. Well, Devlin DeFrancesco sets a fastest lap, but is only in 20th place. He must feel frustrated, the young lad from Florida. Enem Ahmed then looking to get himself pole position for this afternoon's final. And let's be blunt about it, he's looking to be the European champion, sweeping on to the home straight, or towards the home straight, excuse me, got to negotiate the second half of the back straight. There we go, coming up now to take the checkered flag. Our race winner is Enem Ahmed from the United Kingdom. Second is David Beckman of Germany. Third, Rokas Baciuska of Lithuania. Fourth, Mick Junior of Germany. Fifth, Max Futrell from the United Kingdom via Singapore. Rasmus Lind will be disappointed to have dropped down to 6th place. Lorenzo Travisanuto 7th. Alexander Vartanyan of Russia 8th, was untouchable in free practice on Friday, but it hasn't worked for him in the competitive part. James Pull of Singapore 9th, and Leonardo Lorandi completed the top 10 at number 10. Well, commiserations to Benjamin Lessen, who was a front runner when he had some sort of mechanical issue that caused him to lose race pace and to drive off the circuit. Very unfortunate for him, but Enem Ahmed and David Beckman gave us a really good race at the front, and the British driver getting the better of the German late in the race with a pass on lap 9. There are the graphics showing you the margin, 0.25 of a second in favour of Enem Ahmed. Good drive by Leonardo Lorandi to get into 10th place. Rasmus Lind in 6th will probably feel disappointed. Juan Manuel Correa was outside of the top 20 at one point, so 15th is a bit of an improvement. Sun Yu Yang of China, 13th, been going well. Anton Hager in 24th place, was a potential champion early on. And the drivers that we lost at the start were Presley Martono and Sophia Flörsch. Again, we do hope that Sophia is not too badly hurt. Let's have a look at the highlights then. Here we go. That's David Beckman on the left, Benjamin Lessen on the right, Rasmus Lind going up into 2nd place. That is Rasmus Lind, though, making a little bit of an error, and Rokas Baciuska getting an early shot. And you see how much of a big lead, how big a lead David Beckman had at this early stage of the race. Some of the really good driving. Enem Ahmed at an early stage now, getting his presence felt, and that's not a euphemism for saying he's clattering around, it's a euphemism for saying that's how good a driver comes up with. That was a good dice, wasn't it there? Part number 225 that we saw, 228. Presley Martono is not a starter at this point. But David Beckman, long run in front, but now Enem Ahmed on our screen, hunting him down in the later stages. And it was a 2-horse race at this point, and when Enem Ahmed went past, you saw there David Beckman look over his shoulder. Is there anybody else going to try and get past me? No, there isn't, so at least I've lost only 1 place, not 2. And I chased back after Enem Ahmed. Well, no, it didn't happen, because Enem, a lot of looking, wasn't he? And there you go. David Beckman making the hand gesture. I think that may well have been congratulations. Don't really know. Enem Ahmed the winner then. David Beckman 2nd, Rokas Baciuska in 3rd place. That was the KFJunior pre-final, taking 2 attempts to run it, but subsequently producing victory for Enem Ahmed.